In the upper right, in the blue, it is MARU, and his opponent from Italy. In the lower left, in the red, it is REYNOR, who is also already moving out with his overlords here on the map. Let's have a look at their build orders. We've seen very interesting strategies in the previous game. All sorts of units by them, nice mix by both of them. Let's have a look what exactly they're doing here into this game. Of course, I did see a little bit of the replay. I'm not going to spoil it for you, so pretty standard open up by REYNOR, going straight into fast expansion. His overlord's already out on the map. Of course, he's searching for those proxy barracks. MARU is known for his proxy barracks harassment, but no such thing by him, as he's going straight into the barracks at home with gas. So we might see a Reaper attack by him really soon, really early. Let's have a look at the continuation here from REYNOR. It's going into an extractor and spawning pool. So you're pretty standard open up by a Zerg. Same can be said for MARU, also very standard. As he might go for an expansion really soon. He should have the minerals saved up really soon, as his SCV is already in position. There is his first Reaper. Of course, the Reaper early on, really important, just to harass the Zerg a little bit, just to perhaps snipe a drone or two, even snipe some Zerglings. As MARU is also preparing to wall off really nicely. So the overlord is of course nicely scouting the proximity for REYNOR. He sees the vision here. His second overlord is also really important, as he's hiding here, the overlord in the back. So the timing is going to be really important for the Zerg, just to see exactly what the buildings are from REYNOR, from the Terran. Notice that REYNOR is not sending out a drone, or at least not yet. This drone should be his 2 minute and 30-second mark of an expansion. MARU almost cancelling this one, as he's now going straight for those drones. One drone nicely being saved into a spine crawler. So the Reaper is of course as much as annoying as possible, even denying the timing from this hatchery here by REYNOR, almost getting surrounded. But yeah, the queen pops out, and this harassment is going to stop here as REYNOR takes his second expansion. Now there is this one overlord, like I told you, very important scouting mission here for him. Let's check the main from MARU. He has a factory. Is this his starport? No. It's going into a second expansion, so very nice and greedy gameplay here by MARU. Of course, he's expecting a very long game, so not going into a starport, going straight into that second expansion. Let's check the main. From REYNOR, there's a nice queen here on standby, just spreading more of that creep. And of course, see the production tab in the upper left part, just in case I'm missing something. So yeah, the queen nicely defending the home territory, as the Reaper tries of course to be lucky to snipe one drone or two, or perhaps a Zergling. Yeah, let's check. More and more queens are getting spawned, so pretty standard stuff. Even another queen here, so REYNOR might try to add a spore into this location. Of course, many Terrans are known for their starport harassment, and there's that starport straight into a Viking. So MARU, knowing that there should be an overlord nearby, this is why he wants exactly to snipe it as fast as possible. And in comes this important overlord. Sees of course all the buildings, even saw the second expansion, so he knows what is going up. He knows that MARU is preparing a macro game, but at the same time 2 Hellions are being spawned, and the 2 Hellions are already out on the map, but the queen should of course be able to fend this off. The overlord should get sniped really soon by the Vikings, so MARU taking care of course of that scouting mission here, and he might try to regroup his units. He might try to wait for more Hellions, but he also might try to add a medivac as soon as possible, as he's adding a tech lab, interesting enough, into that starport. So still a interesting game by MARU. He's now finally moving out with his Hellions, with his one Reaper. Do we even have a dog here into this map? So yeah, let's have a look what exactly this is going to accomplish for MARU. The queens are on standby, and as you can see, queens are not really taking so much damage out of those Hellions. So the perfect unit to have to defend against the Hellions early on. Nice job here by REYNOR, spreading that creep really nicely with his eggs around the map. More and more creep is getting spawned, and yeah, 3 queens here, 3 as this position. I believe he's also having some queens at home, as more and more Zerglings are getting spawned. So nice job here by REYNOR. No tier yet for him. Oh no, there is his tier 2. So he might transition into some lurkers, he might transition into some mutalisks. We're about to find out, as MARU also took finally his second expansion, and he might add more and more barracks Oh no, he's actually adding another factory. He might go really heavily into factories. 3 factories for him. And we also have a battle cruiser being made. Those battle cruisers can teleport around the map where the Terran has scouted. So a very strong unit here for MARU. Let's see what exactly this is going to be happening here for him, as he's once again on a mission out with his Hellions. These Hellions are really deadly against the drones. So let's see. Of course, REYNOR has prepared for this. He's nicely walling off this entrance. He even has some roaches now on the map. And in comes the Hellion push with this one Reaper. Let's see what exactly he can accomplish. REYNOR knows that the timing really nicely. But now, sadly for him, he's moving out with the Queens. This could be a mistake. Of course, he doesn't know the Hellions are coming in. Roaches all on standby. The drones will be targeted. 4 already have been killed, but REYNOR holds his ground nicely, sniping some of the Hellions. And yeah, pushes here MARU back at the same time. A second attack here by this one battle cruisers. No drones here, so the battle cruiser will just kill some Zerglings. So nice teleportation by MARU into this location. So MARU showing us, of course, the advanced technologies by the Terrans. So not the Protoss only having advanced technologies, the Terrans also having this teleportation capability by this one battle cruiser with some sort of a wormhole, perhaps entering a wormhole and coming outside on the map. So yeah, more and more Hellions are getting sniped here. The high ground is of course for REYNOR into this location, as he's able to push this back really nicely. And the MARU once again has to return home and has to repair his units, but no, he's actually adding more and more Hellions. So he really wants to cripple the economy of the Zerg as much as possible. But REYNOR, by the looks of it, is actually moving out on the map. His creep spread is really nicely. The eggs have made it here very close to the proximity of the expansion. So nice job here by REYNOR, spreading those eggs around the world. Yeah, once again the Hellions are on the move out. REYNOR showing his presence on the map, but MARU really wants to destroy the economy from the enemy. At the same time, he might try to teleport those battle cruisers around the map. Let's see where exactly they're hiding. Nice defenses here by MARU as well, as he has some tanks, but REYNOR looking like he's going to push out, so the battle cruisers have to stay at home. Same can be said about the Hellions, as they're going to get repaired. So 2 battle cruisers. He might go for some more battle cruisers. Yes, indeed, another one is getting spawned. More Hellions. Of course, he might try to go into Hellbats, a more tankier unit. And slowly but steadily we're closing at that 10-minute mark. So the tanks are nicely spreading around the map as this dog is checking out this tank. Interestingly enough, also checking out perhaps the second tank. So he should not stay so close to the tank, as lots and lots of splash damage could happen out of that one tank. And yeah, let's see, the Queens are already very nearby here. Rocks are nicely blocking the entrance, as we see some Corruptors of course out on the map. REYNOR reacting really nicely with anti-air against the battle cruisers. And yeah, once again MARU is turtling up, he's scanning the proximity, he's expecting an attack, so this is why those Hellions are already out on the map, waiting for that attack, just so they can push forward and snipe those drones. And we see an interesting unit now. We actually see a swarm host, a mushroom looking like unit which can launch those locusts in the air. So REYNOR with a very different strategy here. Lots and lots of locusts, I mean swarm hosts. And yeah, let's see what exactly they can do. They just need energy, they just need time, so they can launch those locusts. And they're lastly being guarded here by those Queens, and even Corruptors are added. So let's see what exactly he can do with this. The tank is already reacting. The income, the locusts already attacking those turrets. Lots and lots of damage. The Hellions are on standby just to snipe the locusts. And the Corruptors are now going for the battle cruisers, but they will teleport out once again really nicely. So the other teleportation is going to happen straight into this location, straight away. They can be repaired by the mechanics, by the SCVs. The Corruptors are once again vomiting on those buildings, so lots and lots of vomit. Once again Hero is reacting with some cyclones. Nice job here by him, as the Colossi will take quite some damage out of those turrets. Actually Corruptors, not Colossi. So yeah, great stuff here by both players. And once again the mushroom looking like swarm hosts are ready to launch their eggs, to launch their locusts, and once again lots and lots of damage being taken here by MARU, as he's reacting now with some hellbats just to take care of those locusts. So interesting strategy here by REYNOR. He's deciding to go into mass swarm hosts with locusts against MARU. Same time those battle cruisers are repaired. They might teleport. MARU will very likely try to once again teleport around the map. Could be a possibility as he's pretty much under siege. But the Cyclones are engaging. They're on the high ground. There is no vision for REYNOR here. He has to stay low, and yeah, those battle cruisers are still roaming around. Perhaps Yamamoto gun will be also developed by the Terran. Once again, another swarm is being launched here towards MARU. Careful, the Hellbats are of course waiting on the ground. They can deal splash damage. The tanks as well. Look at that, how he now decides to unsiege and siege to not deal damage towards himself. So interesting strategy. Very defensive MARU here against REYNOR, and REYNOR deciding to be more and more aggressive with his swarm hosts, as he's also taking this location here. And we also have a Scantipede, very interesting unit here to have on the map. And we see MARU moving out with his Cyclones and with his Hellbats. So yeah, the mushrooms are also ready to launch their eggs. Once again, the locusts are getting here forward. Tanks are in position, some Hellbats are on the ground. This could be really deadly. Remember, REYNOR is not losing any money with this. He's just needing energy and time with those locusts. So not even energy, not even mana. They just regenerate those eggs onto their mushroom looking like shells, and they can just launch attack after attack. So very strong unit. A little bit exposed here, but REYNOR feeling really confident. There goes the scan, so MARU might try to move out, but of course he's scared that it could be a trap. So once again the locusts are closing in slowly but steadily. The eggs should be ready really soon, and there comes another attack. A tank could be targeted, the turrets as well. Let's see what exactly this does. 50 HP onto one of those locusts, so really strong unit to have. Remember, it doesn't cost you anything. So yeah, MARU being able to snap this, and we can see some lasers coming out of this Cyclone. So Cyclone looking very nice here. You see the Hellbats with the Cyclones are moving out here, so MARU once again will try to attack really soon. Swarmos are regrouping the Cyclones. The Corruptors are there to defend, so MARU once again very defensively, very nicely spreading his tanks. Such a nice beeline. And yet those Cyclones with those lasers are prepared to attack, of course. In comes the battle cruiser back from a mission, as they will very likely might try to get repaired. There in come the Locusts once again. This one tank might get sniped. So this is really smart out of REYNOR. He's just sniping unit after unit without having any costs. Those swarm hosts looking very nicely abusive. Some banings have been added, but yeah, the Cyclones with that laser vision, with that laser guided missiles, really strong against REYNOR. REYNOR also still into this proximity with his swarm host. No swarm host has been killed, so nice strategy by him, as more and more eggs will be added here on the ground, and we might see a good engagement here. But REYNOR is ready with some banings, with some zerglings, as he should be able to push this back. And once again the eggs are ready onto that swarm host, and they will be launched perhaps against these snipers. The Cyclones are here, some Hellbats are on the ground, but yeah, MARU is taking quite some damage, and if this is going to continue like this, REYNOR might have the upper hand, as yeah, more and more units will be lost for the Terran. So a nice fighting back and forward by REYNOR with his mushroom looking like swarm hosts. At the same time he's nicely expanding, but basically here's the response from MARU. 4 or 5 battle cruisers into this location. He might try to use Yamamoto gun against the hatchery. It's going to be Yamamoto gun against the Corruptors. Now he might try once again to teleport out the hurted battle cruiser. So really nice job here by MARU, deciding to be aggressive, deciding to show the technology of the Terrans towards the Zerg, as he might once again try to enter the wormhole and get out of danger here. So sniping the hatchery, and he might teleport out. Yes, indeed, the Terran is teleporting out, and at the same time comes a Baning abusement and lots of damage. They're being dealt. 17 SCVs have been killed by those Banings. Some units have fallen here for REYNOR as well. Sorry, yeah, the Soulmost are still in position. REYNOR is expanding all over the map, so you can see like he's taking base after base. So a very interesting game we have here. Swarm host versus battlecruiser abusement. Paintings have been added just to snipe the workers, just to snipe the infantry. And yes, still a large amount of those swarm hosts, as the X will be ready really soon. And yeah, they're ready to get launched as the Cyclone has such a huge range. So let's see what those swarm hosts, those locusts can be doing. Of course the battlecruisers are here to engage, but the corruptors are coming nicely back from Raynor. The Paintings are moving forward, but MARU holds his ground. The Hellbats and the Cyclones do hold the ground. So really strong stuff here by MARU defending, but he's taking damage. The damage now. The snipers are coming forward to snipe those overseers. So yeah, this hatchery has been lost. So we might see MARU just keep going for this same strategy, turtling up in the domain and then just launch those attacks with those battlecruisers. But just 2 battlecruisers are being left unless other are into a mission against the Zerg. And then let's have a look. The mushrooms already, the swarm host already, more and more creep X will be spreaded. Let's see how this will go as we have finally passed the 15-minute mark. We're heading towards the 20-minute mark, and there in comes another launch. In comes another launch of the swarm host against the tanks, against the infantry. But yeah, MARU nicely holding. But like I told you, this doesn't cost Raynor anything. The eggs are for free. The swarm hosts do cost, but of course the locusts are for free. They just spawn onto the mushrooms heads. So yeah, let's see, more and more will be very likely added, or he might transition into something else. MARU is still turtling up, and finally in come the snipers. The snipers are heading straight towards the whole swarm host, but in come the banelings, and lots of snipers have been lost here into this mission. So MARU taking quite some damage. He did snipe some of those locusts, but yeah, more and more locusts are being added, and once again it's a back and forward game. Lots of damage. Tanks will fall here for MARU, taking quite some damage. Even 7 SCVs have fallen. Such a hard game for him against those locusts. Nice abusement here by Raynor with his locusts, as MARU even tries to take this expansion next to this Artosilope. So yeah, nice units here onto this map. Very beautiful map with beautiful water and palm trees here. So yeah, let's see how these things will unfold. The locusts almost ready to get launched really soon. MARU still turtling up, still adding more and more bases. And yeah, Raynor still transitioning into those corruptors, into those Zerglings and Banelings. Let's have a look. Once again, the X will be launched. In come the locusts, as MARU is going to lose a turret, perhaps more. Tank is now getting targeted. More and more is about to fall here, as he's also coming forward with some Banelings. And yeah, nice abusement. Like I told you, Raynor just nicely kiting those mushrooms back and forward. Really good job here by him. And the MARU should respond once again with a mission out of those battlecruisers. Where exactly are they? Perhaps just staying back at home just to defend, as more and more snipers are now getting added by him. 2 battlecruisers it is. He might try to teleport here into his location. Just a queen, or perhaps just going to stay home to defend, to show his presence, to show his force. Yeah, let's see what the next moves are going to be here by these pros. The swarm hosts are finally once again in position, heading straight towards this location. From this location you might once again launch more and more of those locusts, just sniping turret after turret, unit after unit. Every mineral, every gas counts. At the same time, Raynor is moving forward into this location. The SCVs are pretty much exposed. Raynor has to out-micro them. So yeah, Raynor taking once again, MARU taking quite some damage. 18 workers have been sniped. The fireballs out of the Ravagers also might take out some of the infantry. A very nice game. 20-minute, we're closing very closely. We're heading very closely towards the 20-minute mark here, as more and more banelings are being spawned. So Raynor looking like he wants to attack this expansion. Of course, it's one of the last spawning location here, as finally the battlecruisers show their presence here, mapping some of the units. Let's have a look where those locusts are. Finally, there they are. They're getting scanned, so pretty soon they will launch those locusts around the air. And still those 2 bases here are pretty much exposed, so the battlecruisers could transition here, could teleport here, or come out of a wormhole and attack this. It's not really that much being defended, but yeah, MARU deciding of course to use the battlecruisers just to intimidate perhaps Raynor, but Raynor is not taking anything from it. He's launching yet another attack with those locusts. against the tanks. The tanks are now being targeted, but just like in game number 1, the Hellbats are a really strong counter towards those Locusts and Broodlords, Broodlings on the ground. Yeah, but still it looks like REYNOR just deciding to go for those Swarm Hosts. Yeah, let's see. Tries of course to land here, but the Overlord, I believe, has feces this sand looking like beach here, so no landing allowed here for MARU. As even the battle cruiser have to come in and attack this, so we might see a transition here by both players. Corruptus might try to snipe on battle cruiser. He's going to use Yamamoto gun, and now he's going to try to teleport out a nice save here by MARU as Yamamoto gun showing his presence. Yeah, nicely fending off this attack, so still the Locusts are alive. They should launch of course their eggs really soon. It would be also interesting to see the Locusts entering the Overlords, perhaps to make them more mobile, being spawned, or perhaps a worm could be used as well. Nidus Worm by REYNOR, but of course he knows exactly what he's doing. He's now adding those eggs. He knows of course tanks are here into this proximity, so they will be really likely the next target. Of course the tanks are also dealing splash damage towards themselves, so nice move here out by REYNOR with his Locusts. He's once again targeting every unit, and yeah, every unit counts a lot. As yeah, REYNOR with an interesting strategy with his Swarm Hosts now, giving them really far, but like I told you, the Zerg could be a global threat against MARU, as some Nidus Worms could be added, and the Locusts would be much more mobile. At the same time, finally MARU decides to be aggressive, but at the same time in comes REYNOR with his units. Not that many tanks are being left, thanks to that Locust Swarms. 2 battle cruisers are here to defend, but in comes the Baning, so MARU has to be very careful, nicely microing those units. At the same time we have another attack here by those Locusts, and yeah, the Locusts heading straight towards this planetary fortress, but MARU very quickly repairing that one. So nice reaction. At the same time MARU is now moving up with his Hellbats, with his snipers into this location. The battle cruisers also showing their presence here straight in the front of the army. What a nice game we have here in between the two probes. The back and forward game. Let's see where those Locusts are now finally heading. I don't see them on the map. Perhaps REYNOR transition into something else. Perhaps he might know that there are the Swarm Hosts. And yeah, this hatchery has been lost by REYNOR, so nice stuff here by MARU showing his presence, even adding a Tor. So once again a interesting military mix here by MARU. Some infantry, but it's just snipers, Tors and tanks. I believe he transitioned into Tors just to give them more capability, more stability here for his army, as the tanks will of course be targeted by the Locust Swarm. Yeah, Tors of course are not dealing damage, splash damage towards themselves, as MARU just keeps marching here forward. Let's see what is going to be the answer from REYNOR. He still has those Locusts, he has some Bane, still has some Corruptors, but yeah, MARU just feeling very confident now. He's moving forward, snipers are in position, there are the Hellbats on the ground, some battle cruisers, some tanks, a nice beeline being formed. But at the same time we see the Locusts being very confident here, about to launch their eggs. What's this expansion point? It might even get snapped really soon. MARU is not going to stop here, but we have some Broodlings now in the air. We have Broodlings it is against the snipers, and yeah, Hellbats should be in front just to take care of those Broodlings. So yeah, 21 drones have been sniped, Hellbats are in the front, but they're taking quite some damage. We even have Fungus, we even have the orange looking like spell against those Broodlings. So nice kiting back and forward by REYNOR, as I believe it is a anti-armor spell, looking very nicely, very beautiful orange color here against those Broodlings. Yeah, soon is about to get expired, so nice spell to have for the Terran against the Zerg. And yeah, let's see how things will unfold. The Swarmers are still alive, they're pretty much exposed, but still making so much value here for REYNOR, still denying so much time. And look at that sniping unit after unit, sniping SCV after SCV. A nice job here by REYNOR, and now he even has added those Broodlords in the air, so let's see how things will unfold. Once again, a nice mix, a very heavy mechanical build order here by MARU. He has Tors with tanks and Hellbats, and yeah, the battle cruisers once again showing their presence against the expansion here from REYNOR. REYNOR at the same time having his units here into this location, having those mushrooms still are alive. The Broodlords have also joined the army, as we will see another attack into this location. Some Ravagers are down. It's a nice scan, so we might see some sniping going on, playing against those Wormhosts. Good fungal here by REYNOR. Great EMP against all of those units. Those are here to defend Hellbats as well. So nice sniping here by MARU with his snipers. Still 21 SCVs have been killed. So let's have a look at the work account. 53 for REYNOR, 44 only here for MARU. This is pretty much under siege once again. And yeah, this expansion is going to be the next target from MARU. So yeah, where exactly are they mining? I believe not that much mining is going on. Still a strong bank here for REYNOR SCS, 5k minerals versus the almost 1000 here from MARU. You might see a strong engagement. The Yamamoto could be used, but those battle cruisers are pretty much exposed. They will enter another wormhole. And yeah, nice reaction here by MARU. The Hellbats will be targeted. Some tanks will fall. Nice fungals, but the force will stand their ground once again. Tanks as well. See a sniper, and we might see, yes indeed, there is a nuclear launch. MARU needs to be careful not to step into his own nuclear once again. Yeah, he's just going to lay this one here. At the same time, REYNOR needs to be careful not to float into this one atomic bomb here. So yeah, the eggs have been sniped by the snipers. Really strong stuff here by him, as the Tors are still nicely looking in position. 6 Tors, some tanks. And yeah, let's see how things will unfold. Those locusts are still alive, and those locusts brought so much value here for REYNOR. Sorry, for REYNOR. As now they're finally getting sniped. 3 of them nicely getting sniped, as MARU shows us once again the strength of those snipers as he leads them into the high ground. More and more Broodlords are getting launched. But yeah, not that many Hellbats are now alive for MARU, as the Hellbats are of course the counter towards those Broodlords and even against those locusts. So really a strong unit to have, a nice splash damage unit to have, not dealing splash damage to you towards your own units. We actually see a nice run by here by MARU, as this one Pestelop is also panicking here. So a nice job here by MARU, snapping this one hatchery. Great stuff here. One of the last mining hatcheries from REYNOR has been sniped, only with a couple of tanks. So MARU showing us that you can also be aggressive, not only have to turtle up. So yeah, this unit is really under panic still. Let's see what the next moves are going to be here by REYNOR as he's moving forward with his Broodlords. I believe he still has some locusts, yes indeed, launching egg after egg, but the Tors are here. Such a nice tanky unit to have, and yet the Hellbats are of course melting those locusts at the same time. Once again, no, it's just a changeling. Okay, MARU. And yeah, slowly but steadily we're heading towards the 30-minute mark. Let's have a look. Not that much mining going on for MARU. Of course, this base is really important for him, this one as well. He will focus, of course, his defenses into those bases. Same can be said for REYNOR. He's mining from here, also from here a little bit. But yeah, what exactly can he be doing as his Broodlords are finally moving forward? So many Broodlords, but we also see that orange looking like rocket. So the anti-armor orange looking like spell, making those Broodlords looking very beautiful in orange. And yeah, another locust attack against the Tors, but of course they will melt those. And yeah, the anti-armor is still here, bound with oranges. So let's see, the kiting should continue here for REYNOR. He's going to try, of course, to snipe one unit after the other, but the snipers are here as well. So MARU taking care of those Broodlords, really nicely, sniping one after the other, taking of course some damage at home, but the Tors are holding their ground. Once again, the snipers are here, and the Tors, so many Tors here for MARU. One has been lost. The banings keep rolling forward. There are more and more Tors to reinforce those units. Actually, massive amounts of Tors with snipers now here for MARU. Scans go out. We see some change. Great EMP. And then come the Broodlords against the snipers and against the Tors. Let's see how this is going to unfold. We even see some mind control. So now mind control has been used against the Terran with those infestors. And of course, the battle cruisers are going in just to snipe those units as fast as possible. But the battle cruisers are very much exposed. One is making it out alive, and some snipers will take care of other units. And yeah, more and more Brooklings are joining here the army. There's a nice choke point here for MARU to defend, so really nice job here by him. And yeah, let's see. REYNOR decides to retreat a little bit. Only 3 Broodlords have been remained here for him. So great engagement, but the snipers once again showing us their strength. sniping just 1 minute after the other one Broodwar after the other. So really nice job here by MARU. Yes, so many Thors have been lost by him, but in the end it was worth it. So many Broodwars have been lost for REYNOR as well. Yes, he has dropped 2 1k minerals, but he might try to go for those corruptors into more and more Broodwars. So we finally have passed the 30-minute mark, and yeah, let's see, things have calmed down a little bit as we see just one Thor, just a couple of Hellbats and those ghosts. And yeah, let's see what exactly is going to be the next move here by the players. The command center tries to scout out this position. REYNOR is going to retreat with some units. Finally, both players have calmed down a little bit as the battle dozer is going to be able to snipe this location really soon. Yeah, good job here by MARU. And let's see, REYNOR still kiting around on the minimap, still having the swarm hosts. Let's see how many are being left. 5 with some Broodlords, with some massive amounts of Zerglings actually. Just to snipe the economy is heading straight towards those mineral lines. This is going to be able to snipe so many workers here. The battle cruisers have returned from their mission as they're attacking now the Zerglings. And yeah, 25 workers have been killed here, so nice job here by REYNOR. At the same time, MARU responding really quickly with his snipers, with his Hellbats, sniping nice 9 workers. We see the corruptors now heading straight towards those battle cruisers, and it will be a huge loss here for MARU. He's taking damage out of those corruptors really nicely, as you might even see some vomit coming out of those corruptors. Now he's just deciding to retreat. Nice mix of units once again. As 26 SCVs have fallen here for MARU. He has dropped to 29 workers and 36 only for REYNOR. It's a nice job here by REYNOR. Even might snipe this expansion, let's say burn. But yeah, let's see what the next attack point is going to be here for REYNOR. He's feeling very confident. But there's so many Hellbats here on the ground by MARU. Look at that, what a transition into Hellbats. Of course, he's responding towards those Broodlords with massive amounts of Hellbats and some snipers in the air. Rester is going to get sniped really soon now. As yeah, the Hellbats are now moving forward. We see the command center about to land, but there are Zerglings into this location. So what a close game. It's still anyone's game here. Anyone can win this. Yeah, let's see, so many snipers with massive amounts of energy. Hellbats are here as well. And yes, so many locusts are still alive. Only one Broodlord indeed it is for REYNOR. So a heavy cast unit as REYNOR wants of course to defend this lags mining expansion by him. MARU can't land here. We might see an attack here, but the Zerg has the high ground here against MARU. Some Zerglings are here, some buildings as well, but the tanks are slowly but steadily sieging this location. The snipers coming forward for MARU now. He's the one trading mana for the kills, because the snipers are really strong. So he might try to snipe one Ravager after the other. See, the tanks are also nicely being formed in a nice beeline. And we see a huge engagement now. In comes REYNOR with his forces. Hellbats are in position. Ravagers are launching their balls. And the other Zerglings have also come here forward, but the Terran stands his ground. Slowly but steadily he's moving forward. Might try to have to repair this command center and land it really soon. Let's see what the next steps are going to be, as there's one infestor with nice fungal. No mind control. 2 Ravagers have fallen. 2 Hellbats, sorry, as the Ravager balls try to get some connection, and in comes REYNOR with his Zerglings, attacking those tanks on the high ground. So I might try to go for reinforcements here from MARU. He's going to snipe the tanks first, but now in come the Hellbats with the blue flame. At the same time in comes the attack, but the snipers have already taken out some of those units. So MARU once again showing us the strengths out of those snipers, as he's going for the Broodlords, he's going for the Overseers and Corruptors, even Ravagers, as he has the high ground, so he's securing his expansion here. At the same time, REYNOR having this expansion into its location. And yes, things finally have settled down a little bit. Both players have calmed down a little bit as more and more is being added by them. And yeah, the Thors are still looking very nicely here with their cannons onto their shoulders, looking really strong, really heavily. And yeah, the Hellbats are also here. Let's see what unit composition is here. Hellbats with tanks. And what exactly does REYNOR have? Just a couple of Ravagers. I don't see any Broodlords. I don't see the mushrooms anymore. We do see a Vipers, so perhaps for some blinding clouds. And let's see what exactly is going to unfold. We see MARU having a larger army. I believe, yes indeed, he has quite a larger army. But REYNOR might try to kill those units with those Ravager fireballs and just kite back and forth. Yeah, let's see. This is still a mining hatchery for him. This one here as well. And yeah, the scans go out. MARU slowly but steadily changing his position. He's moving forward. I believe he's going to target this hatchery here. Of course, this is one of the last mining position out of the Zerg. Also many Hellbats here. Snipers are taking care of those Ravagers. Look at that. So many Ravagers are falling due to those snipers. And yeah, the Hellbats are in the front. Corruptors are in the air. But yeah, the hatchery is going to fall so quickly. And look at that. All of those drones here would have been snapped. And REYNOR is actually GGing out. So the victory is here for MARU. So with an early strong game, I believe, by REYNOR with those swarm hosts nicely abusing the fact of MARU. But yeah, MARU responding with Hellbats once again, just like it did in game number 1. And the snipers are once again really deadly. We also see some battle cruisers, 5 battle cruisers it was into this game, just to show his strengths, just to show his force. And yeah, remember, battle cruisers can indeed teleport in StarCraft 2. Really nicely teleporting, just like entering a wormhole and exiting somewhere else where the Terran has scouted. And yeah, nice game by REYNOR as well. A good mix of his units going once again into Broodwars, but MARU seems to be having that counter for those Broodwars with those Hellbats. And let's not forget once again the snipers. So yeah, what exactly can he be doing? Massive Zerglings, massive Banelings, wormholes could have been a possibility. Nidus Worms, I mean. Yeah, really hard game here for REYNOR. MARU playing very nicely, very defensively, and in the end countering REYNOR with battle cruisers and with massive amounts of mechanical units, tanks, Thors. We've seen so many Thors. And yeah, let's not forget the Hellbats and the snipers. So nice game by both of them. Hope you guys enjoyed this replay, and we'll be seeing, of course, in the next replays. This is Tommy signing out. Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tommy with one of the longest games which I'm going to be casting here on this channel. Once again, we have a great engagement in between the two pro players. This game has been played very recently in the year 2022 on the Valencia DreamHack tournament. So it's just one game, a very long game, as you can see from the timer. We are spawning in the low left in the blue. It is MARU from South Korea, and his opponent in the upper right in the red, it is REYNOR from Italy. So nice international gameplay in between these two pros as they spawn here on Data C and ASL map. Yeah, let's just see exactly what is going to happen here. And I did watch a little bit of the replay. I'm of course not going to spoil it for you, as we see REYNOR already moving out here with his overlords. So yeah, what exactly are the strategies? Of course, many Terrans are known for their infantry, for their harassment with those medivacs. But some Terrans really like to go into those mechanical build orders, into those units, into those Aliens, Hellbats. Could be Thors, it could be tanks, could be even battle cruisers, nuclear launches, nuclear bombs. So yeah, everything could happen here. As we also have REYNOR, who is known for his Zergling harassment, for his nice Queen gameplay. It could be also Hydras, it could be Lurkers for him, later Ultralisk. So everything is possible into this long game. Of course, Vipers and Infestors might be an option as well for any Zerg in the late game. And yeah, let's not forget the snipers from the Terran, as we see REYNOR moving out really standard with a fast expansion, then into his extractor and spawning pool. Let's have a look at MARU. Is also going here for a fast expansion, really quick fast expansion. There is his barracks, so he saved up some money for that expansion. Also there is his refinery and the second refinery for him. We might see it and harassment with that Reaper by him. So yeah, let's see how things will unfold. The overlord is slowly but steadily making it forward here towards the base from MARU. And of course, this overlord is really important just to give vision what exactly the build order is from the Terran. Notice how nicely REYNOR is hiding that overlord in the back, just to do those rally points, just to see exactly what the main buildings from the Terrans are. And there is that factory. So we might see a 1-1-1 build order, this meaning one barracks into one factory, and later of course one starport could be added as well. And around the 2 minute and 45 second mark, we do also know, of course, that many Zergs will like to go into their second expansion point. And yeah, there is already really a 10 seconds faster second expansion point for REYNOR, as his Overlord is also still roaming around. And yeah, let's see what MARU is doing here. Perhaps an expansion, but no, it's actually a factory, so a hidden factory for MARU. Let's see how long REYNOR is going to take to spot this out. I believe around the 3-minute mark. Yeah, his Overlord is slowly but steadily going to come forward, so it's really important to have that Overlord in the front, even if it's getting sniped. It's very important information for you as a Zerg. Even one Zergling gets here forward, but of course many Terrans will like to wall in off with those supply depots. Yeah, let's have a look what REYNOR is going to be doing. Still not moving forward with that Overlord. Let's check his main really quick. No tier 2 yet, as he's still spreading more and more of those queen eggs. And really soon he's going to connect his creep in between his bases. Yeah, his Overlord is still chilling around as we see the first Hellions moving out by MARU. So it's mass Hellions and even another tech lab for him. We actually have blue flame being upgraded for those Hellions. Let's see, the Overlord now finally comes forward and he should see that second factory. So in come the Hellions, but of course Queens are really tanky against those Hellions. And they are able to push this back, they are able to hold. Of course, Zerg is not as good as those Queens. And yeah, in comes this Overlord, sees now everything, even sees the starport. S1 Viking is of course ready to push this back, so MARU regrouping with 4 Hellions into the middle of the map. Really soon he's going to launch perhaps an attack against that mineral line from REYNOR, even sniping those eggs. And yeah, REYNOR of course spreading his units here. We have Roach Warrant, of course Roach Warrant really important to have against those Hellions. And yeah, we see also the production tab in the upper left part, just in case I'm missing something. You can check it out there. We also see a crab beetle here onto this map. So yeah, Queens it is. More and more creep is getting spreaded. The Overlord has been finally snapped as we see the first medivac move out for REYNOR. No units into them, so he might pick up those Hellions in the middle of the map and he might try to launch here an attack, but there's so many Queens for REYNOR out, and let's see how this is going to unfold as the Viking is getting pushed back. There is this one medivac on a rendezvous mission with those Hellions. At the same time, REYNOR nicely moving a group of Zerglings into this location. We might try to attack here as well, but let's have a look at MARU with his medivac. But there's 2, even 3 Queens now here, so he needs to be really quick. Actually, he's going for those Hellbats, and the Hellbats much more tankier, so REYNOR has to micro those Queens. And yeah, Hellbats also getting healed by this one medivac, but the medivac could be targeted. We even have a roach on the ground. More and more roaches are being added. Yeah, sadly for MARU, this isn't really working out, as his units are going to fall. Perhaps leaving them into Hellions and then trying to do a drive-by would have been an interesting idea, but then of course he's the best Terran, so knows exactly what he's doing. As REYNOR now moves forward, the door is open, and a little bit of a mistake here by MARU. He's now nicely reacting by clumping those SCVs together just to give them more tankiness. And yeah, in the end, not that many, but hold on, actually 5 SCVs have already been sniped. The Hellions have to return to kill those Zerglings, and even 8 workers now, so nice sniping for REYNOR. Really nice job by him. As we also see some of a small timing push around the 6-minute mark. Tanky roaches against those Hellions, doing really well. Of course, MARU has to micro the Hellions out of danger, but yeah, the roaches are really tanky. And yeah, REYNOR just showing his presence, but there are so many mines here for MARU, so he should be fine. Of course, he might even try a drop with some mines, could be a possibility. Let's check his main. Not producing that much, just a couple of one tank and some medivacs. As REYNOR is of course still staying heavily into those roaches. We see another drive-by, and this could be really good, but what a great reaction by REYNOR, blocking the entrance immediately, really fast with that evolution chamber. But yeah, at the same time he's also taking his expansion here, so what a nice move by him, blocking that entrance and producing more and more roaches. Of course, upgrades are also going out for him, as MARU still tries to find, of course, a way through, and he is indeed preparing a mine drop. Let's see, where is REYNOR prepared for that? He actually even has 2 spores here, just 1 queen. So let's have a look how this is going to work out for MARU, as REYNOR is still roaming around in between bases. In comes the drop straight into the middle line. The medivac is taking quite some damage. We do have vision. Not that much, not that many drones have been killed. Just 2 of them, so still a nice move. But REYNOR really fast into reacting. Slowly but steadily we're closing finally at the 10-minute mark. Yeah, let's see how those things will unfold. REYNOR still staying strong into those roaches, as queens are also moving out on the map just to spread more of that creep. So yeah, very interesting early game. Nice harassment by MARU, at least he tried to harass, but REYNOR really fast into sinking, really fast into reacting, so great micro, great response by him. And yeah, MARU is not going to allow more and more creep spread. He's of course going to scan the area and kill as many queen eggs as possible. In comes another roach move out by REYNOR. At the same time, REYNOR is of course protecting this creep highway, interestingly enough, with those roaches, and he's actually moving out really strong now with his queens, laying more and more eggs. And let's see how exactly this is going to work out for him. Some Zerglings, no, it's actually more and more roaches and ravagers, so in comes a push by REYNOR with massive amounts of roaches. But there is a tank, actually there's 3 tanks in the back and some SCVs in the front just to give tankiness, but more and more SCVs will fall here. 22 Marines are steamed up, so this is actually pretty good for MARU as a defense, but in the end he did lose 22 workers. He's going to snipe so many units, but is it worth it to lose so many workers? I believe so. So REYNOR now currently having 30 more workers against MARU. MARU will of course reproduce those units as fast as possible. Those SCVs, look at that, out of 3 command centers, but REYNOR is not going to stop here. He's once again pushing forward. Still the tanks in the back, they are the real damage dealer. Nicely getting spreaded here by MARU just to avoid the ravager balls. So we are really nice defense by the Terran. And let's have a look. REYNOR tries to come in from the back, but the splash damage is there by MARU. So maybe REYNOR is going to come down. Some medivacs with some marines in the air. MARU could try a counter push with those medivacs. His tanks need also some protection, so this is why he's still roaming around with his medivacs here. So let's see, he's actually leaving 1 medivac in the front. He's pretty empty, and yes indeed he's actually deciding to move out with 3 medivacs with a sort of a drone drop, as the roaches are also moving forward here for REYNOR. But yeah, REYNOR needs to be careful. There is this drop happening and this hatchery is pretty much exposed, so nice decision here by MARU. Moving forward, he's going straight for the hatchery, not for the drones. He should be able to snap it, so nice job by him. I believe he's going to pick up really soon. And yeah, great stuff by MARU. Could have even stimmed and killed some of those drones, but in the end he decided to play it safe, just to not allow that more mining from the Zerg. At the same time, the Zerg has to of course retreat. He has to be prepared for any more drops. This is a nice fake move out here by MARU with 1 pretty much empty medivac, just 1 sad marine here with 4 kills though, so quite a hero marine for MARU. As another ball is coming here forward to MARU, and the creep spread looks really nice here for REYNOR. Yeah, what can he do against those tanks in the back? It's 2 tanks now. Once again he decides to snipe the gas, and yeah, just showing his presence here, just not to allow and move out. At the same time he has to leave some defenses at home. This base is still pretty much exposed, so map wise REYNOR really having much control here from the map against MARU. MARU turtling up a little bit with his tanks and with his infantry, just roaming around, just allowing REYNOR to do the first move, but of course waiting for him with some great defenses here. This is also expanding and building more and more of those planetary fortresses indeed. So yeah, an interesting game. MARU once again tries to move out with his infantry, but there's even Banix now waiting for him, so of course the Banix a nice counter against those infantry. And yeah, still MARU roaming around with his doom drops here, but yeah, REYNOR on the chase is not going to allow this to happen anytime soon. Might even try some Ravager balls to deal some damage here. Let's have a look at MARU nicely microing those medivacs out of danger, and he might try once again to attack here. There are some spores and even spines being created. Yeah, if MARU is really fast with his team, could deal once again some damage against this expansion point. Still nice reaction by REYNOR. Yeah, MARU is killing some Zerglings and just going to retreat. At the same time, his second task force moving here out on the map as he's killing more and more of those eggs, and he might even try to snipe this expansion, but REYNOR also has some units here, so it's really important to have your units split up just to be ready to defend or ready to attack. So yeah, MARU does this really nicely. Of course, the medivacs are a great advantage for the Terran player against the Zergs. Zergs also have overlords with speed, could be an option here, but we could also see some worms, some Nidus worms would also be a nice option here by him. Yeah, let's have a look at those players have calmed down a little bit as we've passed, of course, the 10-minute mark. Still anyone's game, still a nice game here by them. What exactly is going to happen is we see roaches, ravagers, and some banelings for REYNOR. What he might try to go for some lurkers. He has indeed a hive, so we might see some other units here as well. Infestation pit, evolution chamber with those upgrades, and the MARU. Let's check his main really quick. He has lots of barracks and just 2, no actually 3 factories, so we might go more into those mechanical build orders. Only 1 starport, so we're not going to see so many air units. But now let's see, have a look at this drop once again, as this hatchery is pretty much exposed. In on the defenses, and MARU not paying attention, his infantry taking quite some damage here as he's just lifting up and trying to go for the next point. This could be an interesting decision, but we do have some Vipers with some infestation here against those medivacs. Nice chop here. I believe they're called parasitic bombs, so much damage being taken out of those medivacs. In the end, MARU's going to pick up, but he might eat another parasitic bomb. Let's have a look. He's finding a nice ledge here for those medivacs, but they will be sniped. 2 drones have fallen as more and more energy is getting sucked out of those Vipers. At the same time, we see another engagement here, so lots and lots of action. Of course, due to those medivacs, MARU has that mobility, but REYNOR is going to respond really quickly with his roaches. Once again, targeting that gas, and the beam is also getting pretty good connections here. Get a condenser, it has to lift up, it has to get prepared, and we finally see some snipers. But the snipers really important unit later on to have to snipe those, perhaps those ravagers, even some banelings could be sniped. So nice job here by MARU, of course, showing us the strengths out of those snipers. Let's have a look, another engagement here as REYNOR is coming forward with his roaches, with his ravagers, the banelings getting some nice product, apparently taking down some SCVs, many SCVs actually. And a really nice job here by REYNOR actually hurting MARU, so MARU in a little bit of danger zone here as he's dropping to 67 workers versus to 86 from REYNOR. So yeah, REYNOR getting some good connections, and now finally we have Ultralisk. So yeah, Ultralisk, the answer from REYNOR. Let's have a look. Those snipers are of course really strong against any unit. They could snipe those Ultralisk with lots and lots of energy. You might even see some nuclear launches out of them. But now MARU just using them defensively, as the tanks are also nicely spread here. REYNOR just roaming around with many banelings and getting some good connections here. Sadly, MARU not paying attention. She has lost so much from his units there. So a good job by REYNOR. Of course, every unit counts a lot now. Every mineral and gas counts in such a long and great macro-oriented game by them. Let's have a look. REYNOR decides to change tactics, change the position. He has Vipers moving forward with his Zerglings, but here's that EMP against those Vipers. We're blinding clouds against those tanks, and the Ultras are now moving forward with their splash damage. So much damage being taken out of MARU as the Baneys just keep rolling in. The snipers are nicely kiting back and forth. There is detection, so this is exactly why MARU tries to snipe those overseers. The expansion has to be lifted up as we see some Tors now getting added. Tors really nice. This one only 8 HP, I believe it should be repaired really quick by MARU. So yeah, once again the snipers are going to snipe some of those units. The Ultralisk are falling really nicely here. And yeah, great defense once again by MARU, as REYNOR of course waits for his reinforcements. He waits for those Zerglings in the front, for the banelings also to roll here forward. He knows he has done quite some damage, and MARU tries of course to spread his units as much as possible. Really nice job hiding his tanks in the back, behind those plants. Very beautiful plants here on this map. Also some beautiful mushroom looking like mushrooms here. So yeah, let's have a look how the games will unfold as the Zergs are moving now finally forward in the front exactly where they should be, but there's even a command center protecting those tanks in the back. In come the Banings, they keep rolling forward. There's a nice binding cloud, but those Thors are really tanky. Tanks are also very tanky. In the air, the planetary fortress deals quite some great splash damage. His MARU is going to hold, actually he holds really well with those hidden tanks in the back. Nice ledge being found here by him. So we have very beautiful maps, very nice plans here onto this map. As here REYNOR has to of course lick his wounds and stay back a little bit as he's adding more and more Banings. Of course Banings a good answer against the infantry from the Terran. They're also very good to snipe those SCVs. As here this base here is pretty much exposed. Same can be said about this one here from REYNOR as more and more scans go out by MARU. And yeah, nice spread by him. He's adding more and more of those Marauders, also really tanky. And yeah, snipers it is of course for him. Very good against those Infestors, very good against the Vipers. But yeah, REYNOR goes very heavily into those Zerglings. And I'm sure he's going to be able to snipe this base. The Bane is still rolling, 10 workers have been killed. And the player is also getting sniped, so nice pickup by REYNOR as now MARU finally has to answer somehow. He's dropping a little bit low into supplies. Workload is still 20 less against the Zerg. So yeah, REYNOR just keeps expanding all over the place really nicely. As we see even a Nidusworm now being added. We have an Overseer here and then a Nidusworm, and I don't think that MARU has everything here to defend. At the same time REYNOR just move forward with his Banings, with his fortress. We did have one Liberator in the air. And the Nidusworm in the end getting sniped, but the real action is happening here as some harpoons are happening now against those tanks. So nice harpoons by those Vipers against the tanks here. Really nice job by him. See once again REYNOR retreating a little bit, but with those attacks at the same time he's also expanding, so more and more, look at the minimap, more and more belongs here to the Zerg. So such a hard game by MARU against REYNOR. So REYNOR also preparing once again a little bit of pieces here, 3 pieces for the hatchery from the overlord, so nicely done by him. Let's have a look at MARU as he's roaming around. He's just patrolling here the proximity. And yeah, REYNOR once again deciding to attack. We see once again a Nidusworm being prepared here. Is MARU ready for this? This could be really deadly against his production buildings. Let's have a look how he's going to react to that. Is REYNOR also attacking? At another point, no, MARU is just going to pick up here a Tor ship and he's going to attack this worm. But a very late reaction here by MARU. This could have been really deadly against his production buildings. But the Tor is really nice, dealing quite some good damage against the worm. And yeah, let's see how the game is going to unfold now as we're at the halftime, the 20-minute mark here. Such an interesting game. Infestors could be used of course with mind control against the Liberators, even against the Tors. Even some tanks could be mind controlled, as we do see a move forward, but those Marauders in the front are really tanky, just to give those snipers the opportunity to snipe those units from the Zerg, those Ultras. And we now see a transition from REYNOR. Of course his economy is allowing him to go for those Broodlords. Broodlords really strong against any ground unit, and look at that, he's even attacking with the Spores in the front. MARU is also going to prepare here his command center. He might go for a planetary. The Queen lays her eggs, but she has to be killed. And yet the Broodlords now finally are being shown, but the Tors are a pretty strong counter towards those Broodlords. Still lots of Spores here, interesting enough for REYNOR. Maybe fears some battle cruisers in the end, or maybe he just wants to have detection against those snipers, against some nukes for example. Yeah, and the Broodlords in the back being backed up by those Vipers. So an interesting mix here by REYNOR as he's going to attack those rocks to create space, and now even going for those SCVs. So such a hard game for MARU indeed. He's taking more and more damage, more and more SCVs will fall here for him. So such a hard game. The Tor's not really getting any connection, and we will have an Infestor. You might see some fungals go out as the planetary fortress is getting repaired now. More and more units are going forward. And yeah, the planetary taking quite some damage. You can see these once again are falling left and right. And Infestors still want of course to cast those units, those spells. And 18 SCVs have fallen. Such a nice mix of armies for both players. And we even see the Vipers once again sucking energy out of that hatchery. 23 workers have fallen here. 4 MARU is dropped to 41 workers versus the 84 for REYNOR. So REYNOR with a double amount of workers. MARU knows he has to make something happen. He's going for a counter attack. He's not going to allow any more move outs by the Zerg. So many expansion for the Zergs. As the Afghan is also going to snipe some of those workers. Really strong stuff in the end by MARU. Knows of course he's behind in workers, behind in economy, so he's sniping some of those hatchery. He's sniping those the new hatcheries. As even this one Liberator is going to kill this one Queen, and he might try to kill more and more of those drones here. Those drones are very much exposed. He's going into Hellion, so he's going for a chase here against this choo-choo train. Choo-choo train, look at that. Kills, 21 kills, nicely done. Yeah, Banings are preparing an attack here for REYNOR. So finally 21 workers as REYNOR has fallen as well to 58, so good reaction by the Terran. Of course, the best defense is the attack for the Terran, as he's moving here forward with his snipers, with his stores and some tanks in the back. So pretty heavily mech orientated game by MARU, not going mass marines with medivacks. He has to go for quite a heavy number of Helvets here. This is going to perhaps attack. REYNOR is going to prepare a nice position. Of course, he's going to try to surround the Terran army. MARU knows this here. This is why spreading those units, even having a command center in the air just to give him as much vision as possible. And they're just scanning the map at the same time. Once again, we have a worm. At the same time, we have a nuke here. So nukes versus worms into this crazy game here, as the tanks will take out of some of those force. So yeah, nice stuff here by both players. It's just a couple of Zerglings moving forward, but yeah, like I told you, every kill counts. And those Zerglings who are able to snipe 2 tanks, and they might even snipe this one Tor as it has been picked up and saved. At the same time, the command center giving vision. Another attack here by REYNOR with his Broodlords in the air with some Vipers. And yeah, MARU is not going to allow this expansion. He's going to expand himself here into this location. Moves forward with his strong force. Let's see what's the answer from REYNOR. Still staying strong into those Broodlords with workers. As we see the gas being attacked now, of course the command centers have to lift up. MARU is very far away, so he has to make up his mind. He really has to retreat. There is no teleportation ability, just like in the Protoss. So MARU very far behind, but REYNOR decides not to engage. If he would have engaged, perhaps MARU would have taken this chance to attack here. But yeah, both players, just like in a game of chess, are just roaming around, just waiting, just trying to read the next move of the enemy. Really nice stuff here by them. Yeah, just a couple of Zerglings once again moving forward. But yeah, Zerglings are really cheap, and yeah, those Banings in the end take quite some damage out of that planetary fortress. Really so much damage here being dealt against the Banings and Zerglings, so that planetary fortress doing its job really nicely. And yeah, MARU, I believe, is only mining from this expansion. Not that many minerals here for him, so hard game. At the same time, he's also going to take the upper left part, so transitioning here. Also see some changelings moving out for REYNOR. REYNOR also defending his last expansion as well. And he is also trying, of course, to get the Terran back at home with those Nidus worms. But yeah, though, MARU is going to stay here into the proximity of those 2 new bases that are mining now for him. And yeah, he knows those bases are very important. Scanning this location, not that many minerals here for REYNOR. This is now expanding into the lower right part, so those players exchanging the map, exchanging the position, as we still see the worm is going to get pretty much sniped here. And we might see a strong engagement into the upper part from the map as we're closing the 30-minute mark. More and more units getting picked up by MARU. Let's see how this is going to unfold. Another worm is getting spawned here, and MARU is just going to ignore this one. This is moving out with his units into the upper part, so this will be his next target. But of course the low right part is also nice important target here, because this one Tor is going to engage the worm. But yeah, some Zerglings to pull here out, or should be okay. We see yet another Nidus worm here by REYNOR, so nice abusement as we see another nuke getting prepared here by MARU. So we have once again worms versus nukes it is for both players. MARU is of course known for nuking his own units. It could be a possibility. He hopefully will not try this. Of course it happens, we all make mistakes. So let's hope that this time he's not going to nuke his whole army. It would have been of course a nice nuke just to kill so many of your own units. Really deadly and strong. Yeah, let's hope he's not going to be doing that, as this would have also been a nice target. Those Broodwars not that much mobile against the nuclear launch, but there are overseers in the air, of course, really important to have against the nuclear launch. Yeah, let's see what is going to happen. Of course, the snipers are in the front and they might try to snipe so many units, but REYNOR retreating back home. So every mineral is really important here. The last minerals are getting mined out, the last gas is getting mined out, as we have so many towers, 6 towers, and some hellbats with those snipers, with the medivacs. Let's check the army from REYNOR. Massive amounts of broodlords with infestors. So yeah, the infestors could be used, could be borrowed and just mind control those towers. We even have some lurkers now. Of course, lurkers with that splash damage really strong. Dark has shown us this against Hero. So let's see. An attack is finally getting prepared here for MARU, but at the same time now REYNOR is moving forward. Both players once again deciding to exchange blows, attacking each other. We see an EMP, so where did that EMP happen? Those snipers are invisible, but now they're being caught up with blinding clouds, and the other overseer sees all of those snipers, so REYNOR has to move forward, but at the same time MARU losing quite a huge amount of those snipers. In the end he just left them behind to EMP those units, and now he might try to snipe some of those Broodlords. So of course every kill counts here. Like, look at that, Broodlords dropping really low, and the snipers also getting attacked here, but there's not that much vision being left for REYNOR. So such a smart move here by MARU, sniping those Broodlords. Now finally they're getting healed by the queens, but at the same time he did snipe this expansion, losing his expansion here as well. But long distance mining is happening now for him. As yet the snipers have once again shown us their abilities in the late game. Really strong unit you have. Look at that, not that much unit, not that much mana being left for them. So much mana is being cost to sniping those Broodlords here. So nice job. At the same time some Zerglings will be taken out here for REYNOR. So REYNOR has to of course to retreat. And yes, still anyone's gain. Let's check the workers. 30 to 35 army wise, they're pretty much the same. Actually the army from MARU at 165 versus 160, so that supply is pretty much all army for both players. Not that much mining of course needed. Both players are pretty much concerned with their army into the late game. And yeah, we have passed the 13-minute mark. Every base counts here a lot, and both players have calmed down a little bit. They will protect their last remaining expansions here, their last remaining bases. And yeah, this base is pretty much being mined out, as REYNOR of course focuses here his long distance mining. And MARU actually prepared for more and more bases, just in case one base is getting shut down. He has those reserve command centers here, as REYNOR is just moving around, roaming around. And this base could also be really attractive for both players. Let's see, MARU slowly but steadily preparing his defenses here. He knows that that base would be really important. I believe it's the last minerals on the map. Here are just the remaining some minerals, and this one is also really important, but this base right here is not actually being mined out, so this could be really important for them, as MARU knows this. Of course he has his siege tanks in the back. He's moving forward with his hellbats. The towers are in the back. The damage scan is going out, so MARU knows pretty much where REYNOR is. There is his main force, as REYNOR will of course abandon this expansion point, given the fact that he has the bases in the lower part. So such a nice army here by MARU, with those towers, with his tanks, with his hellbats. Actually only one tank here in the back, with 37 kills though. So nice commander here in that siege tank. And yeah, we still have lots and lots of infestors, so this could be the answer from REYNOR against those towers. Mass infestors with mind control. It could be even mass fungals, could be. I don't see any vipers. Vipers would also be interesting to see with blinding clouds. Let's have a look. Both players all roaming around, both players staying of course close to their bases, as those bases are really important. The last mining location for both of them, like I told you, just like in a chess game here. But yeah, it's actually Starcraft. So many eggs here by REYNOR. Perhaps he's trying to give us a message here with those. Oh, I believe it's a 1 here. What could this be here? Some sort of a worm or a liberator looking like egg. Yeah, interesting stuff here by REYNOR. Such a nice move by him, spreading that creep all around the map and even spreading more of that creep. Yeah, let's see how things go for both players are pretty much calming down now, playing very defensively, just inviting each other to attack, to do the first move. The scans go out, so MARU knows exactly what the unit composition is. There are those lurkers, but they will be of course the main target from the snipers, and so many Broodwars still in the air. So Broodwars versus Tors and snipers. Let's see how this is going to unfold, and a lucky move out here by MARU, as REYNOR is pretty much allowing him here to mine. So MARU immediately sending out those mules. This is really important, this base here. It's actually a planetary fortress now, as MARU is roaming around the map, slowly but steadily closing more and more over towards REYNOR. So yeah, REYNOR allowing MARU to take this expansion point. I believe he should have vision really soon. Perhaps he's going to send out some of those scouting Zerglings or maybe some overseers. He's trying slowly but steadily to move here forward. He has some Vipers in the air. And the Broodwars will of course slowly but steadily take out building after building. Remember, you can win a StarCraft 2 map by just killing the buildings from the opponent. You don't have to necessarily kill his army, you can actually kill all of those buildings and you would be the victor. But yeah, the Terrans do have those planetary fortress. They're really strong. Could actually even create an army of planetary fortress, just uplift them and drop them straight to the Zerg army. We do have an attack, but there is a nuke, so REYNOR needs to be careful. Nice EMPs, nice blinding clouds, nice liberators in the air. Finally, we do have a siege going on from MARU. MARU knows, of course, the attack is the best defense, as he knows the last mining bases here are in the lower right part for REYNOR, where the snipers are prepared with lots and lots of energy and lots of liberators. Actually, only 2 of them. Force in the back, not that many tanks, just those Tors. So MARU pretty much heavily relying onto those Tors against those Broodwars here, and we have some spores in the front just to give protection. Only 1 tank then is going to shoot here into those spores, slowly but steadily clearing them out. So really interesting map here, interesting game in between them. Slowly but steadily the other bases will be mined out. We have a nice nuke being prepared by MARU. REYNOR is of course going to react as fast as possible, but a spore and a spine is being left behind. So the spine and the spore will be killed. So it's stuff here by MARU, as slowly but steadily he's moving forward with his liberators, just inching every centimeter of the map. And the other tank is also here prepared, as he sees the lurkers now finally going to deal some damage, and in come the Broodwars from the back. So you go the EMP straight, really nice. The Tors will of course be able to clear off those Broodlings. There's so much nice fungus here by REYNOR against MARU. He will have to retreat, and the other Broodlords just kiting nicely back and forth. The snipers going on, the Ravagers, the liberators in the air, dealing good damage, and in the end, yeah, MARU has to retreat a little bit, as those Broodlords just spawning so many Broodlings on the ground are really deadly. The other Broodlords are not being touched that much, just some couple of snipers. Let's see how many snipers are being left here. 4. Those are Tors, of course. Where are those snipers? Yeah, there are those snipers. Really good amount of snipers. MARU decides to change the way. He's going to clear this secret message out of those queen eggs by REYNOR. We will actually see once again liberation zones, but at the same time we see a move out here by REYNOR with a couple of Zerglings against the base from MARU. At the same time, a nice interesting nuke, but he's getting of course spotted. We see the sniper here in the back with that nuke. REYNOR doesn't have to make any mistake here. Hopefully he's not going to move those. He might lose one good. Oh, he's actually taking some damage. So careful REYNOR against those nukes. Perhaps was busy microing those Zerglings in the lower part. We find once again a great fungal against all of those liberators. Nice spawning of those Broodlords, so many Broodlords here for REYNOR, as the blue Hellion Flames will be taking care of that. And yeah, the tank is still alive, still killing so much, 29 kills for him. And some Zerglings are in the back, being annoying of course. So army-wise now REYNOR all of a sudden having more army supply, as the Vipers do suck more HP out of that hatchery just to give them more and more mana. So the Infestors and the Vipers will be really crucial of course in the late game. The Vipers could cast some blinding clouds against those Thors. We even see some SCVs moving forward just to repair, some mechanic SCVs here just to repair the mechanic units from the Terran. And let's see another nuke once again. Has to be careful, the queens are really close to this proximity, so REYNOR must of course out micro them. Even the spores getting pulled back, so let's see the one sniper here ready to snap the eggs. The eggs have fallen here for the Zerg. The tanks are moving forward but a little bit exposed. Nice fungals, and in comes MARU slowly but steadily with his liberation forces, with his Thors. One Thor a little bit exposed, getting harpooned, getting killed, so nice job. Of course the Vipers are being used with harpoons, not blinding clouds. Yeah, the Broodlords will of course stand no chance against the blue Hellion units here, so yeah, nice job here by both players. But so many more Broodlings are getting spawned, and we have a nice engagement here. So much damage being taken left and right as the Vipers try to suck more HP. And yeah, the Thors are still standing the ground, the Hellbats as well. The two Thors have fallen here, so the Broodlords aren't really getting touched now. Finally the snipers try to get some connections. But yeah, such a nice game, and we even see another nuke. So REYNOR needs to be really careful. This overseer is very close. The drones are getting pulled back, but this base is of course already being mined out, so MARU taking quite some damage. He's already at 100. Actually he's rebuilding more and more of those units. What exactly is he going for? More Thors, more Hellbats and snipers, so this seems to be the answer for a late game Terran versus a Zerg. As the in comes once again REYNOR with his forces, with his Broodlords, liberation zones, Hellbats, snipers, everything you have. And let's see how this is going to unfold. As finally we're closing at the 40-minute mark. Still both players maxed out, lots and lots of army supply for them. Great high APM, 400 APM for both of them. I believe there's even some paramedics perhaps standing by against this for them in case they're feeling ill, in case there's just too much stress for them to handle. Well, let's see what exactly is going to happen. See more and more Broodlords are finally going to be launching those Broodlords towards the army from MARU. Still tanky, but such a nice kiting going back and forward here by REYNOR. The Liberators are dealing damage, nice EMPs. Let's see what exactly is going to be happening. So many Broodlords. There those Hellions really take care of those, and the snipers try of course to kill those units. Nice fungals now roaming out. The Thors stand their ground once again, and yeah, great damage in between them. MARU still taking more and more casualties. So those Broodlords are nicely being hit back and forward. As if more and more of those Broodlings are getting spawned. And yeah, those Thors will stand their ground once again. Snipers are getting invisible. They try of course to snipe those enemies, and finally they're going now for the Broodlords, but the fungals go out. Another fungal here, and the snipers will slowly but steadily fall. The Thors are also taking quite some damage. The Broodlords are still in the air. So many Broodlings are getting spawned, and the Broodlords aren't really getting touched here, so MARU in some serious trouble. Still taking more and more damage, going on with more and more scans. And is this going to be the final blow here for REYNOR versus MARU, as the Thors also getting sniped here? So let's see what can be the answer here for MARU, as the Zerglings will get a nice round against the Thor. And yeah, he has to retreat. He still has some snipers, not that much energy, but what a crazy game here, as still some mining going on for REYNOR. But remember, this mine is really important for MARU, as he has more and more supply here of minerals. And yeah, the slowly moving army from REYNOR, it's still massive amounts of Broodlords and some Infestors. Of course the Infestors really strong, and yeah, MARU somehow with a good economy still being able to create more Hellbats, those Hellbats just to counter the ground forces, especially those Zerglings, especially the Broodlords. Let's see, things will calm down a little bit. And yeah, 700 APM here for REYNOR. He's really strong with his actions per minute, so such a crazy game. See, MARU knows of course this base is really important. He's heading straight towards it. as he's preparing more and more of his units. Some medivacs are being produced, some snipers. We can see of course the production tab and some queen eggs only here by REYNOR, as we have another Proleague in the air. So finally they have calmed down a little bit of HP is getting sucked for some mana for those Vipers. And let's see, MARU should of course defend, but no, he's actually moving out with his forces. He's feeling really confident. He knows that REYNOR doesn't have that much of an economy being left. REYNOR actually only at 20 workers, 27 for MARU, but MARU could of course call some mules. Would be a good position here for the Zerg. He does harpoon some of those Taurs, and 2 Taurs will get sniped immediately. Such a nice fungal once again as the Hellbats will be surrounded. Income the Zergans from a nice flank here against MARU, but yeah, those Hellbats are still alive and the Zergans just manned here against those Hellbats. Income the Broodwars in the front. They're quite being exposed here against also many snipers. Snipers dealing quite some damage. REYNOR still tries to fight back and forward, so lots and lots of damage for both of them. The reinforcements are getting intercepted by the Broodwars. The snipers are engaging here. And yes, let's see, it's still a balanced game, still anyone's game. 80 army for MARU, 68 for REYNOR. The tanks are no tanks, it's actually Taurs. And yeah, let's see, are there more fungus, but no, such a great EMP against those infestors. And yeah, still snipers on the ground, still Taurs, very tanky. Really crazy game in between them. Of course, this base is getting scanned. The last mineral patches will be cleared really soon by MARU here. This is moving forward. REYNOR will try perhaps the same thing here against this planetary fortress. And yeah, finally MARU comes here for such a crazy game. 18 workers only here, actually 12, 11 only here for REYNOR, as he keeps losing more and more of those workers, and in the end REYNOR is GGing out, so MARU taking this game in the end. Such a crazy game. Of course, REYNOR realizing that those snipers would have been enough for MARU to take out his army, and the Taurs were also really strong. Such a crazy game in the end. REYNOR dropping to 3 workers and only having 55 supply of an army, 94 supply for MARU. Really intense game. At one point I was thinking that REYNOR would have be able to kill MARU with his Broodlords in the air, but yeah, MARU somehow finding the economy to replenish his sniper forces, and those Hellbats, those Liberators, all of those units really strong for a late game. So such a crazy game. I really hope you guys enjoyed this crazy almost 45 minutes game here in between them. Really nice game. I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be seeing of course in the next replays. This has been played in Valencia 2022 DreamHack. So yeah, a very long game, a nice series. Actually no series, just one game. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be seeing you of course in the next replays. This is Tommy signing out.